When you love God, there is always a desire in your heart to grow, to be more like Him, to show forth His glory more in your life. This desire is stronger in some seasons of your life than in others, but we all have this underlying desire. Why do we have this desire? What should we do with it? Why is it important for you to be changed and transformed? The reason a lot of people don't really grow over a long period of time is they don't know how to. Or they know how to, but they don't understand why it is necessary. So they never really give much attention and time to it. And they keep wondering why their results are not matching up to what the Bible says, or with what they've heard, or with other people's testimonies. Are you satisfied with your walk with God? Are you looking more like Christ as each day passes? When you give your life to Jesus Christ and you encounter Him for the first time, your spirit is born again. You become a new creation, like the Bible says in 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, the 17th verse. And everything about your inner man, which is the real you, changes. The Bible actually puts it like this: but whoever did want Him, whoever believed He was who He claimed and would do what He said, He made to be their true selves, their child of God selves. In the book of John, the 1st chapter, the 12th verse. Don't you just love how the Message translation of the Bible puts it? Jesus is telling us here that He gave us power to return to our real selves, who we truly were, which is a child of God that's exactly like God. You may be wondering at this point, if that is true and I am really a child of God who is identical or the same with God, holy, righteous, saint, why is this not my experience? Why is it different in my life? This is why we need transformation. Your spirit may be exactly like God already. It may have been born again, a new creation, but your mind and body certainly wasn't. You look exactly the same on the outside immediately after giving your life to Christ, like you did before you gave your life to Him. Same thing with your mind. Let me give you an illustration to help you understand better. Imagine that you are working in a company and your boss is very abusive verbally or emotionally. He's never satisfied or happy with anything you do. You have to walk on eggshells around him. Decide what time of the day to approach him if you want to talk to him about something important. Avoid him at every other time. You probably look forward to leaving his presence and going home, and you'll probably dread seeing him enter your office or request a meeting with you because from experience it has never been anything good. Now, imagine that he gets transferred and you have a new boss. He is the complete opposite. He is actually interested in you. He wants to know how he can help you do your job better. He's constantly thinking about ways he can improve the work at your company to make it more comfortable and easier for you to be more efficient. But you don't know all that. All you can see at first is that he's your boss and you are already used to a certain kind of boss, unfortunately, the last one you had. So you find yourself reacting to him like you did the previous one and using the survival skills you learned over the years, even if they are no longer necessary. As you begin to spend more time with this boss though, you learn it's actually different. Now, when you would usually dread him requesting to see you, you begin to fight that instinct. You now know he is actually interested in you. He probably wants to give you some valuable advice to do your work better. This is what happens when you give your life to Jesus. Your spirit is different, and Jesus is now living on the inside of you. So, you are a new creation. There is a new boss in the building, but your mind doesn't yet know it. It is still used to the flesh being in charge. It has been trained by the flesh to think and react in certain ways in different situations. And the flesh is completely opposite of God's way, how the new you thinks and behaves. In Romans, the 8th chapter, from the 5th verse to the 8th verse, it tells us, those who live according to the flesh have their minds set on what the flesh desires. But those who live in accordance with the Spirit have their minds set on what the Spirit desires. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. The mind governed by the flesh is hostile to God, does not submit to God's law, nor can it do so. Those who are in the realm of the flesh cannot please God. This, my friend, is why transformation is so important. You begin to fill your mind with the things of God so it can get familiar and used to its new boss. Imagine if I made up my mind that every boss was like my old boss, and so I never give the new boss an opportunity. I never get to know him or give him access to me. No matter how much he wants to help me, he will be limited. Even though I don't have to live like that, my days at the office will still be miserable because my mindset about working there hasn't changed. I will still dread going to work. I could have a different experience, but I have closed myself to it. This will help you understand what Apostle Paul means in Romans, the 12th chapter, the 2nd verse, when he says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. God's will for you is good, pleasing, and perfect. He says that he has blessed you with every blessing that you need to live righteously and to live life. He has said that you are a saint, that he has made you righteous and holy already. It is not something that you have to try to be. All you have to do is trust him and believe him when he says he has. This is why you need to train your mind to think like God thinks. The flesh trains the mind not to trust God, to believe that you will always struggle to be holy and it is unattainable. It trains the mind to doubt everything God says. It is your responsibility to, by the word of God, begin to present new information to your mind that proves that what it has believed is wrong. If you are ever going to be able to live in the fullness and abundance of everything God has prepared for you in this life, you need to transform your mind by the word of God. You cannot afford to keep thinking as you have been thinking. You have got to update your mind with your new circumstances and your new relationship with God. It is your responsibility to update your mind with your new abilities. God is not going to come down and do it for you. He has already done and given you everything that you need, according to 2 Peter, the 1st chapter, the 3rd verse. You have got to be intentional about your transformation if you are going to see results. This is what it means to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. We don't add anything or contribute anything to our salvation aside from what God has already done, but we begin to renew our mind with all God has done. As we learn about it and choose to believe it, we begin to see the changes we desire happen in our lives. Before I leave you today, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Am I intentional about transformation? Am I renewing my mind? As you ask yourself and answer those questions sincerely, may God give you the power to take responsibility for the appropriation of the Word of God to your mind for your transformation. The Lord bless you. Bye-bye.